Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. One of the greatest things about Fortnite is the storyline. The thing is, we all have slightly different versions of the story because Epic Games never actually confirms anything to us, and instead leaves us to make whatever story we prefer in our own personal canon. But out there on the island in both Chapter 1 and 2 are mysteries no one can solve, are questions no one can answer, or maybe you can. Slap code ADAMARU in the store to support these shenanigans, and let's try and crack these cases. Here are 10 unsolved mysteries found in Fortnite. For our first mystery, we're going back to Fortnite Chapter 1 Season 0. How many of you were playing back then? What season did you guys start playing? Well, back in Season 0, an Easter egg could be found which nobody can understand at all. Remember the old location many of us called containers? Well, in there, we could find this abomination. A completely unique item which looks like a shrunken down device within a briefcase, or rather luggage. For the entire chapter, we looked for answers, but none ever arrived. It looks like a cabbage machine, reduced in size, kinda like what they do in the Ant-Man movie. Now, almost 3 years later, and it looks like we will never ever find out what this item represented. Maybe it was foreshadowing a miniature ray gun or a shrinking machine, or even hint to a story and save the world. I need you guys to crack this case. I've been looking for this suitcase again in Chapter 2, but alas, I can't. Please keep an eye out for it, and tell me what you think it's for. For our next entry, let's jump forward to present day. As I'm saying this, it's Chapter 2, Season 2, and the Doomsday device is moments away from changing the island yet again. All around the island are various groups of stone. Well, did you notice that some of these stone sites are man-made, with huge slabs of stone positioned very carefully? They regularly have chest spawns too. The ritual site near Camp Cod is the most complete, with 7 stones surrounding a central pillar. It kinda resembles the rune spots from Chapter 1, and as we all know, those things were very important. The thing to note about these stone ritual sites is their carvings. A sun, or maybe an eye, some kind of wind, and a flame. Here's where these things get interesting. Remember back in Chapter 1 and the Polar Peak Mountain? That slowly started to thaw, and inside was a prisoner. Upstairs was a meeting room which shows all these symbols which represent different gods or deities. It looked like the Fire King was imprisoned by the Ice King. And now, back in Chapter 2, the references of these deities continue. Could this one represent a tornado? Maybe a sun-fueled drought? Or maybe we should expect fire? One thing's for sure, these ritual sites have more to offer during Chapter 2. Can you solve this mystery before it's revealed? At number 8 on our list is the almighty TRUCKASAURUS. He's been with us since day 0, and whether you call him a Transformer, maybe Optimus Prime, or TRUCKASAURUS like me, you're certain to recognise him. In Chapter 1, this chap could be found hanging about outside the RV park. He was completely made from vehicles, except for his walking stick. This guy was ready for retirement. When Season 9 arrived, TRUCKASAURUS received new body parts from brand new vehicles, and by the end of the season, he was lifting his walking stick to the skies because it was now a sword. Then, in the final season of Chapter 1, TRUCKASAURUS lost one arm to mimic what happened to the Singularity mech. Man, that live event was brilliant. When Chapter 2 arrived and we all travelled through the black hole, we ran around to see if we could find TRUCKASAURUS, and he was here. He was lurking in the depths of the sea, just below Steamy Stacks. Miraculously, he now has both his arms again, and his legs are either ripped apart or they are hidden under the sand. I'm calling it now, TRUCKASAURUS will move again in the future of Fortnite, but what will that mean for all of us? If we look at the facts, he's actually foreshadowed the mech event in Season 9, and he's potentially told us about the flood in Chapter 2. TRUCKASAURUS knows something. One day he will wake up from his slumber. So watch out, Heyman and Tony Stank the Iron Pipe Man. TRUCKASAURUS will reclaim this island.
Crazy mother.
Our next mystery is Camp Cod. I'm sure you visited that place regularly and noticed that it's a military stronghold with weapon drills going on, but it's also the home of the Collector. Someone here is locating items from the original Chapter 1 map and bringing them back home to Camp Cod. They have found the old water fountain from Westworld, there's the sign from Lonely Lodge, and there's parts of the old Sunny Steps POI here. We can find the seats from the old dusty diner and the OG meteor landing spot. And check this out, the clock from the old tilted towers. Man, right in the feels. So the question remains, why are they collecting all this stuff together from the OG island? And this thing needs our attention. Why is there a fake hut watch here? Nobody's falling for that, my friend. Let's keep an eye on this place and what the collector finds next. Could they track down TRUCKASAURUS? Or maybe transfer the hidden Durburger and Pizza Pit mascots here? Or maybe they'll go for the real hut watch, just up the road. We shall see. Next, a real mystery in plain sight. What the heck is the relationship between LYNX and Meowsles? Let's go back in time to understand this. Back when we got the snow biome, when the ice smashed into the island back in 2018, one of the loading screens revealed LYNX, a techno-savvy secret agent with a love of cats. What many didn't notice was in the background we could see a picture of Meowsles, over a year before he made it into the game. And to confirm this, take a look at Meowsles' muscles. A tattoo of LYNX is there for all to see. At this point we can surmise that they know each other and Meowsles is completely smitten like a kitten over LYNX. So let's go further down this rabbit hole. In the Season 2 trailer, Meowsles is referred to as 6 years old. That is in cat years, by the way, making his real age about mid-30s and maybe even 40 years old in human years. So when I checked into LYNX and found out that the internet thinks she's 16, well, I got scared and things could have got weird. But I'm not going to let that happen here. What if Meowsles is actually LYNX's father? That would explain why she's slightly obsessed with cats, and that would also explain why he has a tattoo of his daughter. I did some more digging and found that LYNX is based on a real life person called Kitty Plays, and she is 27 years of age. This is probably closer to it, as she has tattoos. I don't know many 16-year-olds with tattoos, maybe you do. That would make the ages much closer anyway, and much more believable as a couple. And right now in game, we've seen that LYNX has potentially been taken out by Midas. But we're not quite certain on that. So now it's your turn. Can you solve this one? What will happen when Meowsles finds out? And is LYNX really gone? Here's some music to help you think while you write in the comments below.
I'm a kitty, kitty, kitty. I'm a cat. If you mess with me.
Here's a great one. Those damn hatches. Back in Chapter 1, a single hatch could be found in Wailing Woods, and then after the volcano erupted, it was moved to the side of Sunny Steps. For years, we had no idea what this was for, and then a second one appeared in the snow biome, which was encased in ice and impossible to get to. Once we did get through that ice, it did nothing at all. Fast forward to Chapter 2, and this creepy island here hides another one of those hatches under a shack. By the way, let's note the suspicious telescopes hiding in bushes here. This place is a little questionable. Not long after this, another hatch was found near Retail Row, underneath a bush and a few trees, and then a third bunker was found out in the sea. Right now we can't swim down to check that one, but if there's a flood and somehow we have underwater swimming mechanics, then we may be closer to answering this one. But the question still remains, what are the hatches made for? We need your detective skills to solve this one. Another mystery about Chapter 1 incoming. We all know that Hut Watch is the most important update ever in Fortnite history. Well, there's also something which is just as awesome. Do you remember the story of the Rock People? Over 3 seasons, the Rock story kept us on edge. We first saw Rock the Dwayne Johnson, built before his partner Sharon Stone appeared close by. After the volcano knocked both down, they somehow rebuilt themselves and over weeks and months finally made it back to one another. We really should mention here that Fortnite Island can bring inanimate objects to life, but that's a mystery all of its own. The following season, the two set up a farm and had a child together named Kid Rock, who, once old enough, left home for a walk one day. We watched him cartwheel and frolic until he saw a flower that needed to be picked right away. Upon grabbing it, he began to fall. Luckily, a little dog Rockviler saw him and somehow pulled him to safety. It was a great moment, but before the story could continue, we were thrown through a black hole and that family was never seen again. I've checked the island, all rock formations, and nothing is there. Whatever happened, will they ever return? Okay, on to the top 3, and we are starting with Kevin the Cube and his mystery. Where did he come from, and what is his purpose? And more importantly, what will Kevin do in Chapter 2? When Kevin was created by the pink lightning bolt in the sky, we could have never foreseen his impact on us all. His live event, which showed us an alternative universe, blew our minds to such a point we erected memorials at his birth and death spots. This guy was important. In Chapter 2, Kevin has been boiled down and seemingly used as nuclear power. The case is wide open. Can you answer the 2 burning questions? Who made Kevin? And what will happen next? Over in Save the World, Kevin the Cube was revealed to be the Storm King. We know that isn't the case in Battle Royale, unless... maybe put a pin in that. Anyway, if you successfully predict the future in the comments below and do not edit your answer, I'm down to add you as a friend and play a few games together, and I'll gift you something. There are so many seasons in front of us. What would you do to advance the story of Kevin? At number 2 on the list is a mystery we've been trying to understand forever. The mystery of the 7. Without the 7, we would still perpetually be looped on the original island. Which sounds pretty good right now, I wouldn't mind being back there. So far, 3 members of the group have been identified. The first, the Visitor, who landed via meteor impact back in Season 4 of Chapter 1. He didn't last long. He was seemingly lost during the rocket event. The second member of the 7 looks to be Singularity, who protected the island from a monster attack in Season 9. Although it was never confirmed to be Singularity, the female visitor skin, known as the Paradigm, released shortly after Singularity's heroics, and uses the exact same character model. Am I jumping to conclusions? Are they the same person? If she was the one piloting the mech that day, she is now somewhere in space after flying out of the atmosphere preceding Season X. And speaking of Season X, a third visitor arrived, the Scientist, who first needs to be celebrated as a legit thick boy. Thick with 4 C's. The Scientist continued the work of the original visitor and completed the rocket, leading to the cycle being broken. What isn't clear is if the other members of the 7 piloted the other spaceships in that event, or were they all him? Will we ever find out? And now in Chapter 2, the 7 have seemingly vanished once again, until this moment arrived. It was a split second, but a carving on a tree displayed 3 of the 7. So now, my fellow detectives, do your thing. Who will be the next member of the 7 to be revealed, and how will they impact the story? I'll keep checking back here regularly to see your theories. As I'm planning on bringing back story theories next season, I'll try smash together some of your work to make something epic each week. We've made it to number 1 on the list, and I think you know what it has to be. The Redacted Bunker. Since day 1 of Chapter 2, we've waited, and waited, and watched, and waited at this place for something to happen. But alas, nothing ever did. We have nothing at all in terms of information. We are literally guessing what will happen. Some people believe a Slurp army is being created behind those doors. Other people see this door as a link to the Save the World game mode and a potential crossover. And others believe the door will open to welcome tanks and other machinery. Where do you stand on this? Will we ever find out what is in that bunker? Will we ever know what this place is called? At the moment, we just call it Redacted. My bet is that this place will be pivotal in Season 10 of Chapter 2. So that'll be about 3 years from now. Oh, I don't think I can wait that long, but I'm gonna try. Let's all keep waiting here. So there we have it, 10 unsolved mysteries in Fortnite Battle Royale. Please let me know if you have any more of these and we'll make a part 2. On screen now are those legends who are kind enough to support me in the Fortnite shop. I really appreciate you, thank you so much. Especially those who've stuck with me for seasons now. If you're watching this on release week, have a great time at the event. And if you're watching from the future, laugh about all the myths we were unable to solve back in 2020. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade, it's been a pleasure. See you next time.